Hi, thanks for joining us, and thanks Bax for having us. We're here. We're from Samson, and my name is Ryan, one of the product specialists. And we're going to talk today with Matt Venacoro and John Ferrara, two guys who know what they're doing about how to stream. One of the important things, though, that we're going to mention beforehand, and we're actually going to do later on, is we're going to have a giveaway for a Samson satellite. So this is a USB microphone that can record in different patterns. We have cardioid, omni, and figure of 8, so you can record in front, all around, or front and back. Great for interviews, and the best thing is it plugs right into a phone. So what's cool about this is you have a studio on the go, making streaming easy, making recording easy, and you're good. So comment on either Facebook or YouTube, and we're going to give that away later. I'm going to turn you over to Matt Venacoro. He's a music teacher, educator, and all-around tech guru who, without this stream would have been possible, at least on our end. So, Matt, I'm going to add you here.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. How's it going, everyone? As you said, my name's Matt. I write for Ask Audio. I do a lot of streaming events and coordinate events for musicians. So I'm going to take you through some of the solutions and some of the things that I like to use from Samson on these streaming events, and kind of just point out why you might choose that particular mic for that situation. With streaming now, there are so many choices and there's so many different ways. And a lot of us, when we start out with getting into live and remote performances, streaming your performances online, you want better audio. You just don't know where you're going to start. You go, I know that the microphone on top of my computer is pretty bad, and I want to get something better. So let's take a look at a couple of solutions. We'll start from the most basic. The most basic is the Go mic. So this is a clip-on mic by Samson. I really like this one for simplicity. As you see, it kind of opens right up. It connects with USB, and it's a little sort of like tiny condenser that can clip on the top of your laptop or device screen. And even though it's small, it still has some really great pro features. One of my favorites being the selectable pickup patterns on the side. So with the Go mic, you have a choice of having just like a condenser mic, a cardioid pickup pattern, or an omnidirectional pickup pattern to pick it up from everywhere. So depending on where you are in the room with your streaming device, you can pick a pattern that works for you. I also like that it has an integrated stand, and you can really use that as a clip or a stand. One of the great things that I like about this mic when I'm recommending it, number one, is that it's incredibly inexpensive, and it's just an instant like, hey, you got your laptop, you want to stream right from your laptop, here's a way to just make the sound better, period. You don't even need to think about it. You just clip it on and go. So the other thing that I like about this, got a headphone jack built right on it, and it allows you to bring the mic close to your source. So, a lot of people will tell you could have a great mic, but if that mic is far away, you're going to get a lot of the undesirable room noise. And a lot of us are streaming and live streaming from places that are not recording studios. So you don't have the option of a super treated room or anything like that. So getting your mic as close to your sound source as you can is always going to help in that situation. Consider the source. That'll make sense later. All right. So anyway, that's one of the best things about the Go mic. It's just simple. You plug it in, you can move it. If you're doing a performance and you have other people in the room and they want to talk, you don't have to move your camera. You can move the microphone so that you can still hear them. So you're not kind of jockeying around your entire device and looking unprofessional. So that's the good place to start. The Go mic is a great one. It's so easy to just fold up, clip, and pop it in your pocket and get moving. So that's a great choice. If I'm going to take one step up, I'd love to jump into the Q2U. Now, this is a package, the Q2U, and one of the reasons I recommend this for musicians is because although it is very much designed as this streaming, podcasting streaming type solution, it has both USB and XLR. I can hold it a little closer, you can see there. You've got the ability, if you are a frugal musician such as myself, I love to be able to reuse gear, so you can use this mic and plug it in with a USB cable and you can host a podcast or just talk to your fans. So it even has the stand that it comes with. It comes with a nice little stand. You pop it on your desk, and you can talk to your fans. But when you're playing live, you can use this as a handheld microphone. It's got an XLR port, and you can absolutely just use it as a musician as an extra mic. I can't tell you how many times I've done that when I've forgotten and I've looked around like I need a quick mic, and I look on my desk and there's the QTU, so you can grab it. It has a headphone jack as well, so it's a full-on audio interface with the volume knobs on it. It has a physical on-off switch, something I'm starting to appreciate a little bit more. I can't tell you how many times we're all discovering this, right? You're in a Zoom or you're in an online platform, and all of the controls disappear on the screen when you don't move the mouse. So if you're looking for a mute button, it's just so much more comforting to have a physical mute switch. So I know that if I'm going to walk away from my platform for a second, I can mute it, talk to people, talk to my team, the people that are filming, and then turn it back on again. So the QTU is really, it's a great solution. And if you wind up wanting to do a more robust stream, so if you're just like a singer, guitarist, and you're going to plop one microphone, but eventually you're like, you know what, I want to have a vocal mic and a guitar mic, you can get two of these and use them with a mixer, because you've got the option to use XLR as well as USB. So that's the QTU. It's a nice step up from the Go mic. You can obviously, on a mic stand, get it a lot closer to your mouth. You can get it very close to your sound source, and things will sound really good. So that's sort of like my second tier recommendation for my friends that are like, I want to step up from the webcam, and I understand the Go mic, but I want to get something a little more. That's kind of where I go. Now, another interesting choice is the XPD2. Now, that one is this guy right here. So this is a belt pack transmitter, okay, and a headset that you can put on, and kind of, it's, flesh colored, and it really blends in really well. It goes behind your ears, so you don't have to worry about clipping on a lavalier. This is really good if you're a singer. I like these for musicians a little more. The lavaliers are great for conversational stuff and talking, for filming videos like that, but the microphones that can place the capsule at a direct area to get the sound of your voice coming out will make you sing and sound deeper and fuller, so you'll get a lot better vocal sound. One of the great things about this mic, about the XPD, is that, look at this. This is the receiver. There's no giant box, that you have to also plug into an audio interface. This will work directly with your computer or mobile device using just this little USB dongle. So it's really simple. I mean, you could plug this into an iPhone with the camera connection kit, and you can literally have this on and be, chatting with your audience or singing if you're playing an instrument or something. And turn your head any direction and get great sound. So it works really, really well. And it's really important for those of you, like if you're having a meeting or if you're teaching a lesson, I know there's a lot of music teachers out there that are like, we're all struggling to try to teach our lessons virtually right now. This is really important if you're going to be turning, to demonstrate something. I've turned around to point to something on my amp, and, all of a sudden your voice just disappears if you're not wearing a headset mic like this. So this is really great for that. And you can actually use this, you can use this coupled with other devices. So you're not limited to one device. Let me see. I can try to share my screen right now, Ryan, if that'll work. Let's see if I can do that. So I'll just hit share my screen. Are you guys seeing my screen, Ryan?
Nope. Give me just one moment.
See if you could pop up my screen for them, because I'd love to show you how you can use it in OBS. We're good?
We're good.
Okay. So, for example, I'm in OBS right now, and you see this little auto input capture. Like, that's my regular, computer microphone. I could use that with a microphone to capture my guitar if I was a guitarist singer. But I can absolutely, in this OBS software, which is totally free, I can add other USB audio devices. So I can just go audio input capture, and I can go ahead and just put in, that's my XPD. I'll hit OK, and there it is, the Samson RXD wireless receiver. I hit OK and turn it on, and as soon as I actually turn on the transmitter, there you go, you'll see my audio sound source start making sound. So you can use two separate microphones, USB microphones for your streaming software. A lot of streaming software will let you do that. Now, if it's not built into Zoom, if you can't do it in Zoom or whatever online platform you're using, Google Meet or whatever, you can use OBS or a software like it called Ecamm to make a virtual webcam. That's one of the things that's really cool as well. So let me unshare the screen. Back to me again. You see my smiling, beautiful face again? I hope so. All right, great. So, you can, if you're a guitarist singer, you can set it up so that your webcam stream actually has two separate mics. I could have, for example, the Q2U, a USB device pointed directly at my guitar, and I could wear a headset mic to pick up my vocals. And I don't have to worry about keeping my mouth like on the microphone. That's one of the great things about this. So you can use Ecamm or you can use OBS or a lot of different, I don't want to promote necessarily like you have to use just one. There's lots of software solutions out there that will let you do virtual webcams and then combine audio sources. And many of those solutions are free. And they're not too hard to figure out. So I think that is a great investment. It's just such an easy way to quickly go wireless. And again, if you're a musician and you're suddenly finding yourself, oh my God, all my students, I can't see them right now. I need to teach them online. And look, people were teaching online long before the crisis. This was a big thing. People were giving Skype lessons for a while. So having that headset is a great thing to be able to get your hands free while you're doing it. All right. So let's keep going here. The next thing we're going to look at is the Go Mic Mobile. All right. So the Go Mic Mobile is a very, very fun solution. Here is the receiver part of it. And as you can see, it's set up to clamp right onto a mobile device, whether it's an Android phone or an iPhone. One of the things I very much appreciate is a giant bundle of cables that it comes with. So you can connect to any device, USB-C modern devices, regular mini USB, micro USB. You can connect to Lightning for your iPhone. So the Go Mic Mobile is really fantastic because this will allow you, if you want to stream on the go, if you want to take your phone and you want to be able to be outside and film a performance or film a performance anywhere where you don't have your laptop or webcam, you can just simply clamp that onto the back of your phone. You plug it in with the Lightning cable to your phone, and now this Go Mic Mobile takes over your phone's camera microphone automatically. No drivers, no software. If you're using an iPhone, it's in the regular camera software. Depending on your version of Android, you might have to use a more modern separate camera app, but there's plenty of free ones that do that, like Open Camera, things like that. So this can work with a variety of different microphone types. So you can buy it with a lavalier style one if you're going to interview people. You can buy it with a handheld microphone if you want. And Ryan, I believe we've got a standard mini XLR on there, right? The standard 3-pin. So if I wanted to connect a headset to that, you totally could because those are all consistent and they work. So you can really configure the Go Mic Mobile to be what you need. There's a variety of different configurations that you can get it in. So I recommend that for musicians that want to get good quality sound and stream from anywhere they might be. One of the other cool things about the Go Mic Mobile is that it's a dual channel receiver. You can use two microphones with just this one receiver. So again, if you wanted to use one microphone to pick up your guitar and one to pick up your vocal, you could do that. And you can adjust the gain right on the pack to, get a good volume mix and be able to, stream those separately. Or if you have two musicians, you're a guitarist, you perform with a singer, you don't have to worry about like sharing a microphone now, which you shouldn't be doing anyway right now. You can actually use just this Go Mic Mobile and you use the whatever microphone it came with. If you buy the handheld one for your singer and you as a guitarist can buy a handheld one and point at your guitar, or you can even, use one of these and clip it on somewhere if you want. So that solution is a really good one. And that's, again, I like to call it's a bit more of an advanced solution, but I think you can see it's not, doesn't mean it's harder. It's just more flexible with a lot more options. So if you have those needs, it can, be a lot easier. Let's jump into the last one, the sort of flagship for musicians, and that is the G-Track Pro. So you'll see I'm using one right now to talk to you. The G-Track Pro is a fantastic microphone. This is a USB condenser microphone. And for musicians that also want to get into recording, I highly recommend the G-Track Pro, because this is not just for streaming. While you can use it with your streaming software, this is totally ready and appropriate to use with recording software in your home studio to get some really, really great sounds. I use this all the time. I recommend it to my fellow musicians as the first choice when they're like, hey, I want to be able to record at home. I have nothing. I just got my computer. My first stop is usually you got to pick up a G-Track Pro, because it's an all-around great condenser mic, has a mute button built in. But the other thing that's cool is, very much like the Go mic and some of the other solutions, this is a dual channel solution as well. Yes, you've got a great condenser mic, but you've also got a 1/4-inch input on the back that can be used to plug in a variety of instruments or sound sources. Now, Ryan, I believe I recorded a video that you guys can see a little bit, just as an example of how with one microphone you can have a completely separate and discrete feed from like your guitar and your voice. So can we pop that video up? Can they see that? So as you can see, one of the benefits of using this is that I can play my guitar and have it be on a completely separate track. And don't worry, I didn't sing. I just talked. That means I can use effects on my guitar. Strumming my guitar. I can mute my guitar. I think you'll see that's a common thread with. Or mute my voice. And have complete control over all the tracks, getting a nice clean signal into everything. It really enables me a lot of flexibility to have everything as a separate channel in my audio workstation or broadcasting software, and then have the ability still to control those channels and configure them as I like.
Let me go back to.
Okay. So, as you can see there, you've really got a lot of flexibility. And as a musician, you can be a bass player, anything, a vocalist, a guitarist, a keyboard player, and use that second input to keep everything separate. Have a great condenser mic sound. As you can see with me right here, you don't have to be right up on top of it. You can be a nice, comfortable level away, and it'll still pick up a very, very detailed and full sound. It's got a great desk mount, but as you can see as well, it can easily be mounted on a mic stand and held in the configuration you like. It's got selectable pickup patterns, so you've got figure 8, cardioid, and omnidirectional. So if you want to pick up yourself on this end and another singer on the other side equally, you can do that, or you can have it reject the sound from behind totally. So this is it's just a really great, incredibly detailed way to get some great sound. And it's really easy for you to make some music with this. So actually, Ryan, to wrap it up, if you don't mind if I share my screen one more time, I'll just pop it up so folks can see. You don't need, are they seeing my screen?
Now they are.
Okay, great. You don't really need, super expensive or fancy software to do great video recordings. I mean, you could do it in QuickTime, which is free for a Mac or a PC. So I open QuickTime, I go to File, I hit New Movie Recording, and now I'm ready to record a movie of myself playing as a musician or singing. And you go right next to the record button here is a little drop-down caret, and I could just pick my second microphone. So I'll just pick Samson G-Track Pro. And what's going to happen is it's going to use my camera device, but take the audio from the G-Track Pro and be really, really great sounding. So let me unshare my screen. I'm very vain. I want everyone to see me all the time. There we go. So there we go. Like you don't need really, really crazy software. It's as simple as this device can take over the microphone for your computer and give you studio quality, crystal clear sound. That's one of the reasons why I recommend it so much. It's really great. Even as a pro, someone who owns a pro studio, I mean, I review music products for a living. I have a mic closet with 80, 90 microphones in it. The G-Track Pro is on my desk all the time because I don't always want to take the time, okay, I got to plug it into my audio interface, gain stage it, go through, get the software monitoring. Like sometimes I just want to really quickly record something and I want to have a recording studio sound, a condenser microphone that just, works. And that's what the G-Track Pro is great for. So I am going to turn it back over to Ryan, who's going to give you the best intro you have ever heard for our friend John Ferrara from Consider the Source. This guy is a bass madman. So one bass madman introducing another. Here you go.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for your time. And once again, just so everyone knows, to comment or ask a question on Facebook or YouTube, describe why you want to win the Samson satellite mic. That'll actually be announced at the end of the live stream. What we're going to give it away, and you can start streaming yourself with just a cable and even your phone, or it's no problem with your computer. Up next, I've got John Ferrara on cue here. He's the bass player from Consider the Source, the Ferrara Metal duo, and also has some solo tunes out. Monstrous bass player. John, take it away.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Matt. So one of the things I wanted to mention was, unlike Matt, who so eloquently spoke about all these products, I'm a musician primarily who tours, and that's been my thing for years and years and years. So I'm kind of on the end of the spectrum where some people who might be viewing this are, where there's this technology. Sometimes it can get overwhelming. You think it's really complicated. What I did was I contacted Ryan at the beginning of all this craziness and said, hey, right now my whole touring schedule is like flipped. We don't have any shows. This has been the first time in 10 years you have no shows. My entire career is now going to be, at least for the next while, is going to be teaching online lessons, which is something I was already doing for many years, and streaming and making videos. So I said, I need some help. Do you guys have a microphone or anything that I can capture my audio better? I was like, I need to record. I need to record in Logic. I need to do the streaming, all these things. And he said, well, we have the perfect thing. We have the G-Track Pro. And he sent it to me, and even someone as, novice as I, when it comes to technological things like this, immediately it worked great. It sounds great, just everything Matt said. It's an amazing interface. I plug it into Logic. I've been recording and sharing ideas with my bandmates, recording my own solo material. It's been sounding crystal clear, amazing. And since streaming is such an important part of musicians' lives now, this is the way we connect with our audience, the way we perform. Having really, really pro-sounding audio that's not just from your laptop is so crucial. And this does that as well. I've done maybe, I guess, 4 or 5. No, I've done more like, I guess, like, if you count the other ones, 7 or 8 like full-on live streams now using this, and they've all gone over super well. It's been sounding great. I've been making some videos, which I'll be posting soon with it as well, capturing audio from it, and it's just been fantastic. And I'm going to play a song in a little bit that kind of shows what it'll sound like through Skype. And the other thing is, so as I said before, teaching, that's something I've been doing for years, and now that touring isn't happening as much, which has been obviously a huge adjustment, I want to have better quality video and audio, and I'm searching and looking up ways to do that. So this was another amazing solution for that. So now I have a slew of new students, which I'm thankful for. I guess everyone's, since we're losing out on gigs as musicians, a lot of people are also home, and they're looking at what to do with their time, how to spend it wisely, and they're looking at doing more lessons. So I've been getting a flood of new students, which has been awesome. I want all the lessons to be as high quality as possible. So I've been using this for all the lessons. It's been crystal clear. It's been just amazing. So let me play a song for you, which is going to be using the audio from it, and so you can kind of hear it in more of its full range. This is a solo piece called Song for Ramita. You hear that okay? Thank you guys.
Cool. Thank you, John. So I'm going to bring John and Matt back in here. And cool. So again, if you were hearing everything, you hear what it sounds like now coming from the front of the mic, from the back of the mic. We're all using G-Track Pros. One of the cool things I've found is that you can even use them with the right kind of adapter into a cell phone. So, you know, we have the satellite that plugs straight in with a cable. We have a bunch of mics that with an adapter can go into a cell phone. I don't think it's been easier to make music, record music, or stream easier at any point in history. You know, question for both you, Matt and John. We'll go with Matt first. What's the most interesting place you've ever used a USB microphone before? You know, you're recording something you didn't think you'd be there.
Oh, wow. I'm going to throw that at me there. I think I've done a couple of samples where I was testing the noise rejection of a USB microphone. I was testing out the headset capsule, and the only thing I had, I don't remember if I was using the XPD2 or the Go Mic Mobile. I think I was using the Go Mic Mobile, and I tested it in various noisy situations on purpose to see if I could get good noise rejection. So I used it snow blowing, and then I used it in a laundromat, and then I used it while my kids had a sword fight around me. And I compared all three. So we were not comparing like the wireless features as much as just the capsule, connected to it. But that was definitely a really weird video to shoot, and probably the strangest situation that I've decided to use a USB microphone with.
John, anything fun on your end?
You know, it's funny. So since quarantine started, I've had the most boring life a human can have. I just sit inside all day and teach lessons and record and play music. So I haven't had that many, I guess, crazy situations where I could record it in. The most I've done was record it outside, kind of capture some of the ambience of just the natural background. Not here in Long Island where it's constant, traffic and things like that, but like more like a nature kind of setting. But I've just mostly been using it inside while I'm helplessly quarantined.
I was gonna say, at one point I was actually outside, and we have a train that runs through our backyard, and I remember sitting in the rain, waiting, in a little poncho, waiting for the train to come by with the Go mic, just to get good sounds to kind of start an album up. So it's been good fun, and you can kind of bring things everywhere and make them a little bit easier. Matt, you guys just had a virtual graduation, and I believe you were using G-Track Pros for that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can, yeah. We haven't had it yet. We're in the midst of doing it, and it's been really interesting. So one of the things that we were looking for was a microphone that could work with a Chromebook, and that's really tough because Chromebooks don't really run software. Like they can run Chrome extensions and Chrome web apps. So it was tough to go like we can't. I knew that from the beginning we can't use something that you have to install software for, have to install a driver for. So I was kind of brainstorming, thinking, we can't really do this with the Chromebook microphone because it was so bad. That we wanted to make sure that you could hear our guest speakers at a reasonable level, and that it was special. It's a graduation. We wanted it to be as special as you can, and we're working with students. We want to make sure that they, even if they can't project their voice as much, that you can still hear them. So we said, let's give it a shot with the G-Track Pro. I have one in the studio. Our tech director for the school district dropped off a Chromebook to me, and I plugged it in, and as is usual with these, it just worked. It worked fine. I didn't even have to pick the source. I didn't have to pick the source. It switched to it automatically when I plugged it in, which was kind of cool. So I just used the default camera app. It's not even really an app, again, camera web extension in Chrome on the Chromebooks, and was able to record good video, just nice, well lit. The camera was fine with the G-Track Pro. So actually, as we speak right now, we've got students who are singing the national anthem. They have the G-Track Pros, like the principal, the different assistant principals, the faculty speaker, all with G-Track Pros. And some of them will pre-record some stuff, and then some of them will be live, and it's going to be great. I think that if we did it, graduation, like it's got to be special. And I think if we did it over a phone, it would have been a lot less. It would have seemed really janky and not great. So I am very excited about it. I'm a little nervous. It's going to be a big production to put together, but the funny thing is that now that we have this, that's the part I'm not worried about anymore, which is very nice to be able to offload that and go, I don't have to worry that you're not going to hear the kid. You're going to hear him. It's going to sound fine.
Yeah. No, and it's what you're saying with it being a little bit, that's something you don't have to worry about. I find that even when I'm watching videos, even looking on YouTube, if you look at something that has great audio, even if the video is, kind of someone's shaking with the camera and you can't really see what's going on, I'll still watch it. I'll still listen to it. But if something has bad audio, I don't know if I last more than 15 seconds. So it's just something that is such an integral part of sounding good and just being, more of a professional quality. It's real easy to get 4K in your pocket right now, but a lot of people don't have the mic to match it. Now, John, going with your live streams, you said you've been teaching a lot more. Is there a way that people can contact you for lessons? That's the best thing to reach you at?
Yeah, if you go to johnferraramusic.com, or if you just find me on Instagram, it's at John Ferrara Bass. You'll find me there. And yeah, as I said, during this time, it's been really cool. Symbiotically, it's this is all I have. I'm just teaching and doing streaming, and a lot of people are looking to learn. They're using this time wisely, which I think is what we all have to be doing. So yeah, if anyone was interested, you can contact me there, and we'll set it up.
Cool. Yeah, and I know quarantine has been interesting for all of us, and I know I have my regular Zoom calls every week with some friends. It's just kind of funny though, because one week to the other, I'll change from mic to mic, and people will be like, "You sound a little bit different today," and that's one of the cool things. And just for some of you guys who don't know, or maybe you're looking at getting your first mic, one of the things that when you're looking at either USB mics or even analog mics is going to be condenser mics versus dynamic mics. You're going to see both of those things and wonder what's right for me. Right now, we're all speaking with condenser mics. We have a relatively quiet room for all of us. You're not hearing, some of the sirens and trains that were happening earlier. But condenser mics are going to be really good for a quiet room, really good for a treated room. And then dynamic mics like the Q2U that Matt was talking about, or even the Q9U that I have here that'll be available soon. These are really good for when you're not in the best room. So me personally, whenever I'm traveling and I've got some room and I don't want to hear the noisy hotel AC when I'm talking to people, this is going to be the mic I choose because, I don't know if you can see here, but we've all have the G-Track Pro kind of a little bit away from us. The dynamic mic, you really are going to have to be in on it, and it's just something that's going to reject some of the other sounds, a little bit better. Condenser mics tend to be more sensitive. You're getting some better highs and lows. But the cool thing with dynamic mics is, even though that you're not getting as many lows with it, not as many highs, that's your radio broadcast voice. That's kind of what people are used to listening to on the radio, on a lot of streams already. And because it's USB, don't think of it as one is a pro solution and one's a beginner solution. It's whatever solution works for you. There are lots of people who are using USB mics, condenser or dynamic, and have professional podcasts with, thousands and thousands of followers. Cool. And again, if you haven't done it, this is probably your last chance to go to the comments section on either Facebook or YouTube, and we're going to give away this satellite mic. And again, start your podcast really easy with your phone. And the nice thing about this too is you've got a touch sensitive mute button. So instead of you actually hearing it click, it's real silent right there. One last thing, Matt, probably to wrap us up. Is there anything else you want to add about either Ecamm or streaming, anything like that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's getting easier and easier. I mean, Ecamm, you're using it right now. That's what's getting us out live. It's easier than you think to get what you need to get right now and to get your music out there. It could have been so intimidating even just 6 months ago to do a good live stream that represented you as a musician. But now it really is easier and easier. I don't think recording studios are going away. You know, it's great to have all this. I love my gear. I love all that stuff. But I mean, look at the great sound we got from John just with a quarter-inch input on the back of the G track. Like it's fantastic. And to say, to be able to get that in minutes is really great, and it's not that hard. I guess what I tell people, because I work with a lot of teachers, is I tell them, you can do it. You can do it. It's not that hard.
Cool.
So that's it.
No, thank you. And just so everyone knows, the winner of the Samson satellite is going to be Nicole Debris. So Nicole, Bax will get in contact with you, and you just got an audio upgrade. Cool. Thanks again for joining us. Again, we're with Samson. Thank you, Bax, for having us. I hope everyone is staying safe and inside where they have to. Health to you, your friends, your family, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side and we can do this in person next year.